Hello and welcome to another day of language arts with Miss McGovern. You're going to grab your language arts companion work text, the one with the camel on it that we've been working on, and you're going to open up to our next story, which is on page 46. Please turn to page 46. Now, the title of our story this week is Room to Grow. So make sure you are on page 46. I will give you a second to turn to that page if you have not found it. It is the next story in our reader. Now, this week in language arts, we're reading a story where the genre is narrative nonfiction, which means someone is telling a story that is true. Nonfiction stories are real. This is a true story that someone is telling. So our essential question this week that we are focusing on is, how do people from different cultures contribute to a community? Read how one family helps their community grow. Interesting. I'm excited to read the story with you. So, before we even start reading, we're going to look on the sides. So it says, talk about it. Look at the picture. Read the title. Talk about what you see. Write your ideas. Why do you think the story's title is Room to Grow? Now, if I was looking at this, first off, I like the title. Ooh, I love those colors that they're using. And I made some observations looking at this picture. So what do I see? I see some plants here. There's some words. It looks like it's maybe a family picture or something. It almost looks like it's framed. And it looks like they're all around this plant. So I wonder what this story is going to be about. So why do you think the story's title is Room to Grow? That is our question right here, and we're going to fill that out together. Now, my brain is not the same as yours, so you might have a different idea than me, and that is totally fine. But our question is, why do you think the story's title is Room to Grow? You will start out your sentence, I think the title of the story is Room to Grow because blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not going to write my idea down because I want you to write your idea down. You're going to make a prediction. Why do you think the title of this story is Room to Grow? What do you think is going to happen? So I want you to start out with my sentence frame that I have here for you. If you need to pause it to copy that down, you absolutely can. You can press pause at any time. But it says, I think the title of the story is Room to Grow because, and you're going to write something down. Why do you think the title of the story is Room to Grow? Write it down. You can even write it down underneath here too if you need to. Please pause it if you need to. Now, if Miss McGovern is giving you a sentence starter, Miss McGovern, Miss Lee, and Miss Fithian all expect you to use it. You're not just going to write down one word or because one word, following our sentence frame. Please pause it if you need to. And we're going to continue on to the next question. It says, who are the characters? What are they doing? Well, if I'm looking at this picture, it says Room to Grow. Read how one family helps their community grow. So there's some flowers here. It says our new home in Portland. I wonder where Portland is. I wonder if they're going to tell me that in the story. Now, if this is a family, I'm going to make a guess on who is in the family and what they are doing. So who are these characters? Who are these people? I want you to make a guess and write it down. So who are the characters in the picture? So the characters are blah, 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 blah. Who are the characters in the story? Looking at this picture, who do you think the characters are? Write them all down. And then it says, what are they doing? Well, look at this picture. What do you think they're doing? They are blank. What are they doing? Write down what they are doing. Now, if you need to pause this to finish your writing, you absolutely can. But your teacher will be looking to make sure all the sides are filled out correctly when you go to turn in your work on Seesaw. At the bottom, it says take notes as you read the text. So we're going to read the story now. It says room to grow. Read how one family helps their community grow. Our new home in Portland. So I'm going to put my pen down. You should have a pencil. And I'm going to read it with you. Spring in the city. My name is Kiku Sato. Last spring, my family and I moved from the country to the big city. Our new home in Portland has had no yard. There wasn't even a tiny plot of land. So Mama made an indoor garden. First, she and Papa planted seeds in pots. Then they hung them from hooks. Next, they crammed plants onto shelves. Green vines tumbled over desks. Soon our house had plants everywhere. At first, I was scared to start school. I was afraid no one would be my friend. But I soon met a classmate. Jill Hernandez and I were practicing reading aloud one day. She helped me say her last name, and I helped her pronounce mine. The next day, we were best friends. Jill spent lots of time at my house. Ooh, so it says a map of Oregon. Now, if I'm looking, I have a little key at the bottom here. So I have my key, and then it says city. If there's a circle next to it, it's a city. If there's a star next to it, it's the capital. And if there's a little wavy thing, it's the river. So I have my state of Oregon. Now there's some cities here. I have Pendleton, Portland, Eugene, Ashland. Ooh, and the capital, ooh, that's Salem. Now on the side, I have a compass, north, east, south, and west. Fun fact for you, Oregon is actually above California. So I want to answer the questions on the side, but before I do anything, I want to label my paragraphs because that's going to help me find my information. Now, I know that a paragraph starts with that finger space, the indent, as we like to call it. I'm going to be labeling my paragraph. So if Miss McGovern is labeling her paragraphs, I'm expecting you to label yours. So I'm looking, I have my first indent, my first finger space right here, my paragraph 1. Write it down. You can pause it if you need to write down and label your paragraphs. Paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. So I have 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. Now I'm going to look at the text evidence on the side, and I'm going to work on my first question. It says specific vocabulary. A plot is an area of ground. Reread the second sentence in the second paragraph. What words mean the same as small area of ground? Circle the words. So I'm going to find my second paragraph. Oh, so easy. I labeled it with a 2, and that will really help me. So I have my first sentence here. Now I'm going to read my second sentence. There wasn't even a tiny plot of land. What words mean the same as small area of ground? I'm going to read it one more time. There wasn't even a tiny plot of land. What words mean the same as small area of ground? Oh, tiny plot of land. All right, first one done. Now let's look at our next question, comprehension. So I'm going to look at sequence. It says, reread the second paragraph. Circle the signal words that show the order of events. What do Mama and Papa do first to make an indoor garden? Oh, back to that second paragraph again. All right, pointing. You're going to read along with me. Our new home in Portland had no yard. There wasn't even a tiny plot of land. So Mama made an indoor garden. First, she and Papa planted seeds in pots. Then they hung them from hooks. Next, they crammed plants onto shelves. Green vines tumbled over desks. Soon, our house had plants everywhere. says circle the signal words that show the order of events. So how do I know the order of how things happened in my story? Well, I know she made an indoor garden. Now, how did she do it? Oh, first. I know what she did first. But what happens after that? Oh, then. And then what happened? Oh, next. They crammed plants onto shelves. All right, I have my signal words that show the order of events. These words should look familiar to you, though, because you also use them in your weekend writing to share the order of events from your weekend. So our question, it says, what do Mama and Papa do first to make an indoor garden? What do they do first? Write it on the lines. You can pause it if you need to, but I'm expecting you to write on the lines, what did they do first? Pause it if you need to. Make sure you have a complete sentence. All right, let's look at number 3. It says sentence structure. Reread the last paragraph. The pronoun we, I'm going to underline that, that seems important, refers to more than one person. Who does we refer to? Write the words. So let's reread our third paragraph again. At first, I was scared to start school. I was afraid no one would be my friend. But I soon met a classmate. Jill Hernandez and I were practicing reading aloud one day. She helped me say her last name, and I helped her pronounce mine. The next day, we were best friends. Jill spent lots of time at my house. So who does we refer to? Write the words. Who does we refer to? So we in the story, so who's the person that's talking here? Oh, I know that is Kiku, and I'm going to write her name correctly because they gave it to me in the story. So we is Kiku, and who's her best friend again? Oh yeah, Jill. And I'm going to make sure that I spell both their names correctly. If they're giving you a name in the story, it is very important that you spell it correctly. If you need to pause it to finish your writing, you absolutely can. Otherwise, we're going to turn to page 48. 48. All right. Before we do the questions on the side, we're going to continue reading. So the title is An Idea for a Garden. One afternoon, Jill and her mother came to visit Mama and Papa and me. First, they saw our beautiful potted plants. Jill's mother said, Jill admires your indoor garden. She has told me so much about it. We all sat down while Mama served tea. First, she put green tea into the tea bowl. Then she added hot water and stirred. She handed the bowl to Jill's mother and bowed. So at the bottom, look at this picture. First off, I love that there are flowers everywhere in this story. So it says Mama's special tea bowls. Wow, that does look very fancy. Now, before I answer my questions, I'm going to do what Miss McGovern always has me do. I'm going to label my paragraphs. I'm looking for that indent, that finger space. And I'm looking, I see my first paragraph right here and my second paragraph right here. Okay, so now I'm going to answer the questions on the side. It says text evidence, sentence structure. Circle the quotation marks in the third sentence of the first paragraph. Underline the words that show who is speaking. Circle what the person says. Now, remember quotation marks, share exactly what a person says. You are quoting them. So let's find the third sentence of the first paragraph. So I have my first paragraph here. It's nice and labeled for me. Super convenient. So let's see, I have my first sentence, my first period. I have my second sentence. This is my third sentence. So let's see. It says, Jill's mother said, Jill admires your indoor garden. She has told me so much about it. So I'm going to circle the quotation marks in the third sentence. Now, my quotation marks are right here. They look like a little quote. like a little quote. So that's my quotation marks in the third sentence, but I'm also going to circle where the quotation marks end. The quotation marks hug what someone says. So it says, underline the words that show who is speaking. Who is talking in this third sentence? Well, I'm going to read it again. It says, Jill's mother said, Jill admires your indoor garden. Who's talking? Oh, Jill's mother. I'm going to underline it. Jill's mother said. I'm underlining that. Then it says, circle what the person says. Now, what does she say? She says, Jill admires your indoor garden. Wow. So you should have circled it just like Miss McGovern. If you need to pause it to catch up, you can. You can press pause at any time. Now let's look at our next question, specific vocabulary. Reread the second paragraph. The word serve means to bring food or drinks. Underline the sentence that shows what served means. So let's reread our second paragraph that we have already labeled. Super easy to find. We all sat down while Mama served tea. First, she put green tea into the tea bowl. Then she added hot water and stirred. She handed the bowl to Jill's mother and bowed. So it says the word serve means to bring food or drinks. Underline the sentence that shows what served means. What is the sentence that shows what served means? What does it mean to serve something? You can pause it if you need to. You're going to underline it. So you should have underlined, she handed the bowl to Jill's mother, because that's what to serve something. That's what it means to serve something. Look at our next question, comprehension sequence. What does Mama do before she adds hot water? Underline the sentence that tells you. I want you to look back on this page and underline the sentence that tells you what Mama does before she adds the hot water. Underline it. You can pause it if you need to. So you should have underlined that part of question number 3. Underline the sentence that tells you what Mama does before she adds hot water. Then it says, what does Mama do after she adds hot water? Circle the sentence that tells you. So there's 2 different things you have to do here. Step 1, you're going to underline the sentence that tells you what Mama does before she adds the hot water. You can pause it if you need to. Now, step 2, you're going to circle the sentence that tells you what Mama does after she adds hot water. And you can pause it if you need to. Now, when you are done with this, you are going to submit to your teacher pictures, clear pictures of these 3 pages. Page 46, page 47, and page 48. Please make sure that you have answered both parts of question 3 on page 48 before you submit. Your teachers will be checking your work.